Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Wole Adesemoye. Today, I'm going to take you through 5 of my favorite back exercises that if you're not doing any of these exercises, you better get doing them now to add some mass, some definition to your back. So when it comes to training back's one of the biggest muscles in the body. You cannot see your back, so it's very hard to feel activation of the muscle fiber. So an exercise that I always love to start off with is either pull-ups or chin-ups, whichever one you like doing to begin with, just to get some activation of the muscle fibers in your back. Activation is key, because when you can feel the muscle fibers, you can then get the mind and muscle connection to move on to all your big compound movement exercises to maximize on each and every rep from the exercises that you're going to do. So I'm going to demonstrate to you now a set of chin-ups that I do. I tend to go for between 6 to 12 reps when it comes to chin-ups. I'll perform 12 just for you guys. For me, when performing this exercise, it's all about the control, the eccentric control. When you're lowering yourself down, control it. So you can get the engagement of your lats, of your whole back. I find it that when you're doing chin-ups, you're working the mid-back. You really want to activate those areas. You can mix it up with chin-ups or pull-ups, whichever one you find that's going to activate your back before moving on to the compound movement exercise, like lat pull down. Following my 4 sets of 12 on chin-ups or pull-ups, whichever one you feel like you want to do, but I like to do chin-ups, I move on to plate-loaded lat pull down, or you can use the cable. I love using the plate-loaded lat pull down because I can really maximize on the load that I'm utilizing for each exercise, each set, excuse me. So I'm going to demonstrate to you now plate-loaded lat pull down, so hit the lats. As you can see, that I just performed the exercise, the plate loader lat pull down. I love using this machine because I can maximize on the load that I can use. Most cable lat pull down, the maximum load that you'll get is maybe 120 kgs, if that. The one in the gym here goes up to 100 kgs cable lat pull down. Again, you can use the cables a little bit harder than using the plate loader one, actually, to be honest with you, because again, constant tension is kept on the muscle fibers when using the cables. But for me, I like to use a plate loaded lat pull down. Again, I feel better engagement with my lats when I'm using this particular machine versus the cable. So guys, this next exercise is something that I actually stole from Charles Glass. It's an amazing personal trainer, actually an amazing bodybuilder that's worked in Gold's Gym, Venice Beach in California for over 30 years. I was out there in August this year training with Michael Hearn, and I saw Charles performing this exercise. And at first it looked very strange. Then I went up to Charles and I asked him, why is it that you're sitting sideways on to the plate loaded lat pull? And he explained to me the additional stretch that you're putting on the muscle fiber. It's all about angles and stretching the muscle fiber when you're performing an exercise in the gym. That's why you hit back with 5 different exercises or 6 different exercises, because you're hitting it from a different angle each and every time. So I ain't gonna take credit for this exercise. I'm gonna give it to Charles. Charles is an amazing personal trainer. So I'm gonna perform it now. Watch how it's performed. So that exercise is normally performed sat in this format, doing it like this. But if you see the difference between performing an exercise like that versus actually sitting sideways on, I don't even need to explain it. Look at the different leverage you're getting. Look at the different stretch you're getting. Look at the stretch you're putting on that muscle fiber versus the traditional way of sitting facing the machine. So just by turning your body slightly to the side there, you're getting a further stretch on the actual muscle fiber itself to maximize on each and every single rep that you're performing during your workout. The whole idea is each exercise that you do, you want to maximize on gaining maximum gain from each exercise. So an exercise that I love to perform to hit the lower lats is using the cables. I call this the cable crucifix lat pull down. So it's almost like a crucifix and you're really just pulling the cables down, making sure that you really try and make sure that those elbows are coming as close to the latissimus dorsi, to your side of the body as much as possible, and getting a maximum stretch on it again. I perform this exercise by kneeling down. Rather than me talking about it, because the demonstration is worth 1,000 words, I'm going to perform this exercise now. So again, going back to the scientific rationale behind the optimal rep range when it comes to hypertrophy, it's 8 to 12 reps. I like to do the top end of the rep range when it comes to performing exercise like the cable crucifix lat pull down, that I call it, because you're hitting those lower lats again, the maximum stretch. You're targeting the lower lats, and you can make this exercise as hard as you want to make it by just watching your control, watching your tempo each and every rep. So as you can see, when I brought my elbows to my side, each and every rep, I really squeeze my elbows into my side momentarily. So there's a minute pause, or second, sorry, pause before returning the cables back to the starting position. So it's very important that you focus on the mind and muscle connection. I'm going to keep going over this when performing an exercise. It's something that you've got to ask yourself each and every rep that you're performing. Where am I feeling this exercise that I'm performing? If I do one rep and I'm thinking to myself, where exactly am I feeling this exercise? Am I feeling it in the lower lats where I want to be feeling it? Or am I feeling it in my shoulders where I don't want to be feeling it? Because if that's the case, you need to readjust your elbows, readjust your hand to make sure your palm's facing outwards and you're really feeling this exercise each and every rep to maximize on the gain that you're going to get from performing this exercise. Again, I'll go back to what I said when I was training with Michael O'Hearn. You want a maximum gain with minimal effort. And the only way you're going to do that is by really focusing on the rep range that you're performing and your tempo whilst performing the exercise. Again, as long as your last rep is like your first, then you're in the money. That's where you're going to make the gains that you need to make. I want you guys to achieve what I've achieved in 30 years of training. That's 3 decades of training in half the time. So the next exercise I'm going to move on to is the barbell bent over rows. I've seen that people perform this in different ways. People pulling the bar to the belt line, pulling the bar to your chest. For me, I like to go as wide as possible with the bar and pull it to my chest. Follow me and then watch this. So when performing the barbell bent over rows, the aim is to get as far off the ground as possible. So I tend to use 2 plates, 2 bumper plates to give me a little bit of extra elevation. You could stand on a box if you wish, but you want to parallel your torso to the ground. Go as wide as possible with the bar in this position here and pulling the bar to your chest, not to your belt line. You want to pull into your chest, right into your chest. So from this position here, I'm bringing my elbows up and really pulling the bar into my chest and controlling the descent. So as I lower the bar back towards the starting position, I'm really thinking about the control. So squeeze, lower, Squeeze, lower. Squeeze, lower. Again, going back to that rep range of 8 to 12 reps, asking yourself the questions, where am I feeling this exercise? Or am I feeling this exercise at all? This is the question you got to ask yourself each and every rep, each and every set to maximize on the exercise that you're performing. A question I always get asked is, what part of your back day, when do you do deadlifts? I always say deadlifts to the last, because you always got to save the best to last. Come on guys, come on. You're gonna probably, someone's gonna be out there on YouTube, oh no, you better do the compound movement of deadlifts first. Guys, it really doesn't matter, but for me, I like doing it last because I've already pre-exhausted all my back muscles prior to doing deadlifts, so I'm not gonna be using my back to actually yank the bar off the ground. I'm gonna be using my posterior chain as a whole. So when you think about the posterior chain as a whole, you're thinking about the hamstrings, the glutes, minor, max. You wanna think about the lower back, lats, biceps, triceps. Guys, the most common injuries that occur when deadlifting is bicep tear, because people are trying to yank the bar off the ground with their arm. The movement doesn't start with a pull of the arms. The arm is just an extension of the body. The movement starts by engaging the posterior chain, the hamstrings, glutes and lower back to lift the bar. I'm gonna demonstrate to you. When performing a deadlift, a lot of people use different technique. A lot of CrossFitters out there, sorry guys, they use their touch and go technique, which they let the plate bounce off the ground and come back up. But it's called a dead lift. You want to stop for at least 2 seconds at the bottom of the movement before starting again. So each and every rep, you're maximizing on your game when performing it. So again, don't bounce the plate off the ground. You know I'm guilty of that technique previously. Now when I'm doing deadlifts, I really make sure that I pause at the bottom of the movement when the plate touches the ground to reactivate the muscle fibers, keep the tension on, bring the bar back to that position. So guys, a quick review of what we've just done for 5 of my best back exercises. 5 of my favorite back exercises, to be honest, actually. First exercise is a bodyweight exercise, either chin-ups or pull-ups. Then I moved on to lap, plate-loaded pull-down. If you don't have the lap plate-loaded pull-down at your gym, don't worry. All gyms have a cable lap pull-down. Use that instead. Then we moved on to the single-arm seated plate-loaded row. But instead of sitting in the traditional way facing the machine, we sat to the side so we can get more of a stretch on the lats. That was the 3rd exercise that we performed. The 4th exercise that we performed is the cable crucifix. I call it pull down. Again, one of my favorite exercises. And of course, number 5 is bent over rows. But we had to save the best till last. The daddy of all back exercises is deadlifts. Because people always ask me, should deadlifts be done on a leg day or a back day? It's definitely a back day exercise because you're using more back than legs to perform the exercise. So it's definitely a back day exercise. Thank you for watching, guys. If you like what you see, don't forget to share this video because sharing is caring. Also, hit that subscribe button. If you want to be coached by me, follow the description below and subscribe to my app, or hit me up by following the link to my website. God bless you all. Thank you.